This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
You want to demonstrate how you got punched?
No.
Good morning, 6 o'clock now on your Tuesday morning. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi this morning. Good morning, John. Much quieter morning for you over there in the Weather Center.
Indeed it is. Oh, by the way, white rabbits. First of the month, right?
Oh, August 1st.
There we go.
White rabbits.
Maybe that'll keep away all tropical storms for the rest of the
There
month.
we go.
Let's hope. We have some showers, maybe a few, yes, but not as many, of course, as we saw yesterday, and certainly much quieter weather today. Some drier air is filtered in. Radar not showing a whole lot of activity across our region, and that's the case as Emily pulls away. That cluster of clouds in the Atlantic is what's left of Emily, and it continues to move away from the state of Florida. That draws down drier air and leaves us with only a 30% chance of rain today. A lot of sunshine around, boosting our temperatures into the low 90s. Complete forecast for you in just a few.
Talk about that and also explain the white rabbits thing. Let's check first off the traffic in Manatee County. Nothing major to speak of. 301 northbound, a little bit of a delay there at 15th Street East. Farther south down to Sarasota, still a blip on the screen there at the 41-301 split. Some ongoing road work going on there. And then farther south in the maps, nothing much to speak of at 6:02 almost on your Tuesday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, another top Trump administration official is out of a job this morning.
After less than 2 weeks on the job, Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci has resigned. Also, new information now about that meeting President Trump's son had with a Russian lawyer. ABC's Kenneth Moten has details from Washington.
West Wing chaos. The Trump White House now dealing with the ousting of Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci.
I love the president.
The wealthy Wall Street financier known as the Mooch, lasting just 11 days. And they were rocky. Day one, bad blood between Scaramucci and now ex-Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. Then there was the profanity-laced tirade to a reporter, calling Priebus an expletive paranoid schizophrenic.
The president certainly felt that Anthony's comments were inappropriate for a person in that position.
President Trump, no stranger to colorful language himself, hoping to turn the page with this new Chief of Staff, former Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly.
I predict that General Kelly will go down in terms of the position of Chief of Staff, one of the great ever.
Kelly's next crisis may be a new revelation regarding Don Jr.'s meeting with a Russian lawyer during the 2016 campaign. First reported by the Washington Post, confirmed by ABC News, sources say President Trump personally dictated a misleading statement his son gave in response to the meeting, something the Trump team denied last month.
The president didn't sign off on anything. He was coming back from the G20. The president wasn't involved in that.
Don Jr.'s original statement said the meeting was not a campaign issue at the time. We now know the president's son took the sit-down because he thought he would receive damaging information about Hillary Clinton. Don Jr.'s attorney had no comment on this new report, but the president's legal team says it's not true and misinformed. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
CNN has learned the new White House Chief of Staff John Kelly was so angry over the firing of former FBI Director James Comey that he reconsidered resigning himself. Kelly, who was then Homeland Security Secretary, called Comey on the day of the firing. Two sources say Kelly told Comey he was considering resigning, and both say it's not clear how serious he was. But one of the sources said Kelly was angry and hurt over the way Comey was treated. The White House and the Department of Homeland Security have not yet responded.
The current Homeland Security Advisor, Tom Bossert, seems to have fallen for an email prank. The prankster in the UK sent a letter to Bossert pretending to be President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The email was shared with CNN by the email prankster himself. The prankster said he was surprised Bossert responded, given his expertise. White House officials acknowledged the incidents and say they were taking the matter very seriously. In France, an airport worker is in trouble after punching a passenger who was holding a baby. Here's some pictures for you. The victim was set to fly out of Nice on Saturday, but his flight was delayed for 11 hours. He apparently complained to the wrong person. An airport worker punched the passenger in the face. A bystander subdued the attacker until police arrived. The airline later issued an apology for that delay, which is 11 hours. They called it a technical issue.
And there's more backlash this morning at airlines trying to make their seat size smaller. Minimum space requirements for passengers are being considered as aircraft seats in the space between them are getting smaller, and that could be considered a safety hazard. The U.S. Court of Appeals has ordered the FAA to take a closer look at the amount of space that passengers have on commercial planes. Seat widths have decreased about 1.5 inches since the early 2000s, measuring at about just 17 inches. The space between seats has also decreased, going from an average of 35 inches to about 31, with some bargain airlines having just 28 inches of legroom.
It does not appear that people can get out with the smaller seats. Most recently, there was an evacuation for a burning engine in an aircraft, and it took about 5 minutes instead of 90 seconds.
Well, comfort is something that the FAA does not look at, but they say they do consider it when testing and assessing the safe evacuation of an aircraft. They're now studying the ruling and any actions they may take to address the court's findings.
And one more aviation story. The U.S. could face a pilot shortage. Boeing released its forecast. It said for airlines to meet the demand in air travel in the next 20 years, airlines need to recruit 117,000 new pilots. Not having enough pilots could wreak havoc on air travel. Still, pilots and their unions contend airlines first off need to increase existing pilots' pay, and that would attract more people to the profession.
An update now on that tragedy at the Ohio State Fair last week. Friends and family paid their final respects to the 18-year-old student killed in that accident. Tyler Jarrell was on the Fireball ride when a row of seats broke off midair and flew to the ground. Jarrell was enlisted with the Marine Corps less than a week before that accident. He was scheduled to begin training next summer after graduating high school. Loved ones say the teen had a positive attitude and was looking forward to serving his country.
Interesting twist on that story from Alabama after a dozen inmates escaped from jail using peanut butter, it turns out. As of Monday morning, all but one have been recaptured. So jail officials say the inmates broke out of the Walker County Jail using peanut butter from their sandwiches to change the number above an inmate's cell to a number that identifies a door that leads to the outside. The jail is still offering a $500 reward for information leading to the capture of that final escapee.
An ominous forecast for planet Earth as two different studies released on Monday say the Earth's global temperature will likely rise more than 2 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. The studies found that even if humans suddenly stopped burning fossil fuels, Earth will continue to heat up about 2 more degrees by the year 2100. If emissions continue for 15 years, that rise could be as much as 3 degrees. Scientists say a global temperature increase could trigger rising sea levels, mass extinctions, super droughts, increased wildfires, intense hurricanes, and even more melting of Arctic ice.
Well, on that cheery note, the Olympics will return to Los Angeles in 2028. The pact is expected to be reviewed by the City Council later on this week. Hopefully they'll approve it. The deal would make LA a 3-time Olympic city after hosting the Games in 1932 and 1984. The committee has yet to award the 2024 Games, but Paris is seen as the front runner there.
And there's a new leader at the South Florida Water District. Ernie Marks has been named the new executive director after being a key player in Everglades issues. Marks is replacing Pete Antonassi, who will become Governor Rick Scott's top business recruiter. Ongoing water projects will not be affected throughout the district's 16-county region, which stretches from Orlando to the Florida Keys.
And Tropical Storm Emily had a great impact in some areas, including in Bonita Springs. Look at this video. After the floodwaters diminished, a catfish was seen on a neighborhood street in Lee County. Stacy Jo Dimmitt says the fish emerged after Emily dumped heavy rain across the area yesterday. Now, is that cat walking, John, or more like a jog?
Cat?
Catfish, rather. Thank you.
I think that's a walking catfish.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
There is a thing, yes, called a walking catfish. It's an
Okay.
invasive species in Florida, and it's an air-breathing fish as opposed to gills. So I guess it's not technically a fish, but it looks like a catfish, but it can actually cross streets and walk out of the water on its own.
Who would've known?
And that's how it kind of migrates from one stream to another. Walking catfish, look it up.
Well, it's got some good moves there.
It does, right?
Back and forth.
It's got the beat. We've got some drying weather for you today. We'll talk about that in a second.
Also still have police nationwide pulling their Ford Explorers off the streets.
We'll tell you why they're concerned about carbon monoxide poisoning when we come back.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Air temperature at 74. It's pleasant outside. We have a dew point value. Check it out. At 71, down another 2 degrees. Feels pretty comfortable out there. Some of the drier air aloft is filtering down to the surface. Calm winds currently. And we have 73 degrees in Mayaca, Arcadia. Wauchula's at 74. So is Parrish and Bradenton. Lakewood Ranch at 75. Northport at 75. Punta Gorda comes in at 75. 76 degrees in Inglewood and in Venice, and 77 at Longboat Key. So a nice start to the day. Emily, now off the Florida coastline, continues to move in a direction that takes it out into the open Atlantic. No problems for anyone. It will eventually just fade out in the cooler waters of the Labrador Current. As far as our conditions go, some drier air has wrapped around the backside of Emily, and that's going to provide us with more sunshine today. We still have old boundaries left over that are producing a few scattered showers, especially down around the Fort Myers region, but not a whole lot of activity, and those will be in the process of continuing to decay away, I think. I'll put in about a 10%, that's it, chance for a brief sprinkle, mostly in Charlotte County this morning. Otherwise, you know, we might pick up about a 30% chance of a late afternoon shower or two. But I think we'll see a whole lot more sunshine around today than we certainly saw yesterday. And in fact, that'll be the case, I think, for part of tomorrow as well. The rainfall amounts over the course of the last 24 hours, in fact, over the last 48 hours, have been pretty impressive. I got some 6-inch unconfirmed reports of rainfall in parts of Manatee County. 5.5 recorded by Doppler radar. 4-inch rainfalls are pretty widespread in pockets. And we have most places getting at least 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rainfall. So that has brought our year-to-date total up to about a 1/2 inch below average, which is pretty much average. And as far as the rainy season goes, which we consider to be the start of the hurricane season, or June 1st, basically, it's the start of our rainy season, we're way above average. So we're looking good. Not much of a fire danger problem because of soil moisture anyway, at least not now. As far as the forecast for thunderstorms today goes, deep south looks great. Atlanta Airport, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, all look fine. No worries there. Maybe an isolated thunderstorm today. That's really about it. This tan color that you see on water vapor imagery, drier air at upper and mid levels, and it has filtered in back behind the departing Emily, kind of wrapped behind the circulation. And that's, well, it's done a couple of things. One, it's really hurt Emily's structure. And two, it's going to provide us with all the sunshine that I was talking about today. A lot of that around. Plus some of that drier air filtered down to the surface has provided us with some pretty nice conditions out there this morning. We have a surface wind as well that has been kind of consistently out of the northeast. That surface wind out of the northeast drawing down that drier air is going to switch today to become a more southwesterly wind flow as we head into the later part of the afternoon, and then into the overnight it'll be sustained. So tomorrow, a little more humidity around and a little bit of a better rain chance. We'll put the rain chance at about 50% tomorrow. So dry air moves in. We'll watch those winds shift late in the day, and then we'll have better rain chances as we head into tomorrow. The RPM computer model forecast shows one or two showers popping up today along the sea breeze front, and then much better chances of rainfall. I think tomorrow as we head into Wednesday we'll have a lot better coverage, probably about 50%. Again, riding on a southwesterly wind flow, most of those rain showers will be inland and toward the other coast. Forecast looks like this for today. Lots of sunshine, temperatures rising into the 90s. We'll have a 30% chance of a sprinkle or two, mostly inland in the afternoon. Tomorrow, sunshine as well, a few more clouds around, higher humidity, and a better chance of rainfall. And then as we head into the next several days, we're kind of starting to get back into a pattern that's typical for this time of year. Late afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Taking a look at traffic in Manatee County, not a whole lot going on. Some congestion on State Road 70 as you're heading towards 301. I-75 looking good as we head into Sarasota County. Pretty quiet throughout that area. There is some slowdowns on 41 heading southbound. Also, Fruitville and Bee Ridge seeing some more cars on the roadway. Looking good, though, as we head into South County, Pretty quiet throughout that area. Just some more people on the roadways on your morning commute, 6:18 on your Tuesday morning. The city of Austin, Texas is pulling all Ford Explorers from its police fleet after detecting potentially dangerous levels of carbon monoxide in their vehicles.
And they are not the only ones, Mary Maloney explains.
In this morning's GMA First Look, investigators sorting through how a lithium battery pack or mobile phones caught fire inside an overhead bin on a packed international flight. The crew noticing smoke shortly after meal service on board a Sri Lankan Airlines jet, extinguishing the fire.
There's no single safety standard, manufacturing standard for lithium-ion batteries. They can be made anywhere by anyone, and you never know what you're going to get. The cheaper they are, the less well-built they are, and the higher the risk of fire.
So far this year, the FAA has reported at least 18 incidents involving lithium-ion batteries on airplanes or in airports. The FAA recently conducting new tests on lithium-ion batteries, which can smoke and explode like this. And we'll have the latest on this scare in the air coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Adrienne Bankert, ABC News, New York.
That was the wrong story that aired. Hope to have that Explorer story later in the newscast. Yeah. Still ahead, we'll have more news and local weather after this. Stay with us.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages.
This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the BART IVC filters. Call the IVC filter hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203. 800-759-0203.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill, I'm creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Nice little sunrise beginning there on the Bradenton Riverwalk. Palm trees in the foreground.
Almost like a picture, very picturesque.
Yes, it is. See the cars going from Palmetto across to downtown Bradenton on, I think, the DeSoto Bridge.
Much different image than it was this time yesterday morning.
Yeah, that's for sure. Welcome back. 6:22 now on this Tuesday morning.
As we just told you, the city of Austin, Texas is pulling all Ford Explorers from its police fleet after detecting potentially dangerous levels of carbon monoxide in their vehicles.
As Mary Maloney tells us, they are not the only city doing this.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has expanded an investigation into 1.3 million Ford Explorers over possible carbon monoxide issues. This applies to vehicles made between 2011 and 2017. The NHTSA says more than 2,700 complaints have been filed by owners who were concerned they were exposed to carbon monoxide while in Explorers, including those who drive them as police vehicles.
From what I understand, these officers were tested and they had double and triple the amount of carbon monoxide in their system than they're supposed to have.
The announcement comes on the heels of the Austin, Texas Police Department pulling all Explorers from its police fleet following multiple complaints.
Over the past 5 months, we have had 62 workers' comp reports filed by officers for an exposure to carbon monoxide.
The 446 Explorers make up a large majority of the department's fleet.
It is the absolute right decision based on the concerns that we have over the carbon monoxide exposure issues we've had that impact our employees' health, wellness, and safety.
Some officers, including one from California, are suing Ford Motor Company. In a statement late Friday, Ford said it will cover the costs of specific repairs in every police interceptor utility that may have carbon monoxide concerns. I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
%80 of recurrent ischemic strokes could be prevented with the right steps.
And take it from me, every step counts.
A Bayer aspirin regimen is one of those steps in helping prevent another stroke. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
From the moment you met, you wanted to surround them in comfort and protection. That's why Pampers Swaddlers is the #1 choice of hospitals, to wrap your baby in blanket-like softness so all they feel is love. Pampers Swaddlers.
Dear son,
I know you worry I can't keep up with our weekly tea times, but I've been taking Osteo-Biflex Ease. It's 80% smaller, but just as effective, which means you're in big trouble, son. Improve joint comfort in 7 days. Osteo-Biflex Ease, made to move.
At Panera, a salad is so much more than one thing. More than one flavor, or texture, or color. A good, clean salad is so much more than green. And with Panera Catering, more for your event. Panera, food as it should be.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll take a look at the damage and flooding across parts of the Suncoast after Tropical Storm Emily forms quickly and surprises many yesterday.
Plus, police in Sarasota say a brother accidentally shot to death his sister. We'll tell you what happened.
And Tampa Bay Lightning players honor a young fan from Sarasota after the team loses his battle with cancer over the weekend. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning. A little overcast shot there. Misty, it seems.
Yes. Much better, though, than it was this time yesterday morning.
That's right.
Much more peaceful out there.
First day of August, and John says if you say the phrase white rabbits, it brings you good luck.
I guess so. I'll be saying it all day today if that's the case.
Yeah, that's good. More details on that and also the forecast. Good morning, John.
White rabbits. Yep.
White
rabbits. I have no idea where that came from. No idea. Apparently, it's an old English custom. You say white rabbits on the first day of the month, and you get good luck all month long. I don't know. I thought maybe it had something to do with Lewis Carroll and the, the white rabbit that Alice followed down the hole, but I don't think so.
I actually watched that movie yesterday.
Did you really?
I did. Speaking of Alice in Wonderland and white rabbits.
You did what?
I watched Alice in Wonderland yesterday.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Just ironic.
Oh. I haven't seen it. The movie? I haven't seen the movie. I'll have to watch that. Today, however, will be a nice day to be out of doors, not indoors, because we have a little bit of blue sky out there, a little sunshine in store, a little less rain chance today than yesterday, a chance to dry out a little bit. So radar showing a few scattered showers down around the Fort Myers area, but that's about it. Emily departs the state, heading out into the open waters of the Atlantic, and we are left with about a 30% chance, that's it, of rain, mostly in inland areas later in the day. Daytime high tops out about 90. Complete forecast for you in a sec.
All right, thank you, John. You want to be careful on Cortez and the westbound lanes, bit of congestion as you head away from 14th Street West in Manatee County. Otherwise, pretty clear. Farther south, the usual blip there at the 301-41 split in front of the Publix and McDonald's area there, and also heading south on 41 toward Bay Vista. South County checking clear at 6:31 on your Tuesday morning.
Our top story this morning, people across the Suncoast are feeling the effects from Tropical Storm Emily. And one apartment building in Bradenton saw severe roof and ceiling damage.
It happened on 13th Avenue East, and our Rick Adams was there.
Well, this storm affected 4 apartment buildings here. Back there is one of the buildings that was damaged. This has caused some major headaches for quite a few folks around here. This is what the inside of Jonas Lammy's Bradenton apartment looks like. Heavy wind and rain from Tropical Storm Emily damaged the roofs and ceilings of the buildings, including the second floor apartment where Lammy stays with his family.
The water is loose. And then he can down and they float.
Lammy tells us his mother did suffer minor injuries. No other injuries were reported. The 4 buildings damaged were in the process of being re-roofed. Work crews spent their Monday afternoon putting up blue tarps to prevent further damage and drying out the units.
We've got 3 units that had some of their ceiling or part of their ceiling come down in the unit. We also have the other units are on the second floors. All were affected.
Thomas Buck has lived at the Oakmead Apartments with his wife and 4 children for a year. Although his first floor apartment wasn't damaged, he's upset that this happened to a lot of his neighbors.
I'm sad. They lost a lot of property, a lot of personal items, and you know it's low-income housing, and some of them couldn't afford renter's insurance, so all their personal property that got damaged, how are they going to get reimbursed for that?
It's a problem Buck says could have been avoided because the contractor was working on many buildings at once instead of just focusing on one building.
As far as doing one building at a time, that's mainly what our concern was, and it ended up being catastrophic.
The Red Cross was on scene helping those folks who were affected. And Bradenton's fire marshal says the repairs to these buildings should be finished within the next couple of days. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Meantime, Northwest Bradenton and parts of Palmetto were under a tornado warning for a short time. Trees and branches brought down power lines at one point, knocking out power to 600 FPL customers. Geraldson's Farm Market had their metal roof peeled back by wind gusts, and nearby Orban's Nursery watched their 40-year-old warehouse collapse as the massive roof was lifted off the building before crashing back down in a different position.
And Tropical Storm Emily made actual landfall on Anna Maria Island, bringing heavy rain and strong winds to the area. Emily also leaving behind flooded roadways and scattered debris. The Manatee County Sheriff taking to Twitter, warning residents to avoid the island. But for those already there, they had to make their way through the flooded streets.
We saw a couple cars that were actually stuck. We had breakfast farther down on the island today, and one of the parking lots, 2 or 3 feet of water, and there were a couple of cars that were stuck there.
Some businesses and residents even losing power, but that since has been fully restored.
On Sarasota Bayfront, 3 boats became 2 boats. The one in the middle we watched sink yesterday. Also, a guy came up on his bike and rode up to his sailboat to bail out water from his sailboat. Worked out pretty well for him in the end. Once the water and the weather calmed down, others came out to inspect the conditions. Why'd you come out today?
Oh, I'm an adventurer. I'm for danger. I come out here to see what's going on down here.
In the end, a lot of wind, some rain, but no serious damage along Sarasota's Bayfront.
Headed a little more south in the city of Venice, officials say there was no severe damage or flooding. They did say the storm served as a good test run for their emergency response plans. The South Jetty Park walkway was closed due to waves crashing over the jetty wall, as well as the downtown fountains. At Sharkey's on the pier, the storm largely caught them by surprise, and they had to secure furniture as quickly as the winds began to pick up.
be prepared for this time of year for hurricane season. So we start the season like that, but there's always something we miss, and this is a good reminder to always be ready.
Well, the South Jetty Walkway is now reopened to the public this morning.
Meantime, an emergency rescue in Tampa Bay before the storm made landfall. Two brothers from Tampa were aboard a 17-foot boat when the engine stopped and the boat began taking on water. Talk about bad timing. The boat drifted and hit a range light. The men then called for help as the boat began to sink. A crew from St. Petersburg arrived within 20 minutes to rescue the brothers. The fishermen were taken to the station without injuries. Plus, flooding caused a problem at the Animal Rescue Center in Manatee County. Nate's Honor Rescue off Lorraine Road is now flooded. The rain drenched the grounds and its animals were put in danger for a brief time. Staff members were looking for foster parents or adopters to get the animals out of the shelter until the flooding subsided.
We try our best to raise our kids to help the community as much as possible, and community came first for us. Being able to help animals, definitely a close second. So it's important that you're active in your community, you're helping your local community, and you're doing everything you can to help save lives.
If you want to help, stop by the shelter or email them at info@honoranimalrescue.org.
Amidst all this damage, Sarasota County says they will no longer be handing out sandbags today. The county is announcing the plans are changed after reviewing Tuesday's expected rainfall and consulting with the National Weather Service. And just a reminder, you can get instant alerts on Tropical Storm Emily and all severe weather alerts delivered straight to your phone. All you have to do is download our My Suncoast app. You'll get important news updates, weather forecasts, and traffic alerts on the go.
On to other news now. New details on a deadly shooting in Sarasota where police say a man accidentally shot his sister and he is now facing a manslaughter charge. Police were called to a house on Arlington Street Sunday afternoon. They say 20-year-old Leticia Cortez was at the kitchen table when her brother, 19-year-old Danielle Cortez Reyes, pulled out a semi-automatic handgun. He told investigators he pulled out the magazine, put it back in, and it went off. A single round struck his sister. She was taken to the hospital where she was later pronounced dead.
The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is cracking down on suspects. The deputies recently conducted a field interview which led to the closure of several car burglaries in the Deep Creek area. The Focus Patrol on Thursday and Friday resulted in 8 arrests for multiple different charges. 3 men were arrested with possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. 1 woman was charged with tampering with evidence, and 1 convicted felon was charged with burglary. And deputies with Charlotte County Sheriff's Office also responded to calls for a suspicious vehicle in Punta Gorda. Deputies noticed the door of a nearby home was standing open. That's where they found Edward Hilton in the home's backyard. He ran away, swimming across a nearby pond, then barricaded himself in a shed where deputies then found him. The suspicious vehicle was identified as Hilton's. He was arrested for burglary, theft, and violation of probation.
It is 6:38 now. All lanes on University Parkway's diverging Diamond Interchange are now back open. The traffic pattern began operating in May with 10 lanes. The final 2 opened yesterday officially. Now it's 12 lanes. FDOT says this is the largest interchange of its kind in the entire country. A landscaping project at the interchange will begin next year. Project cost a total of $75 million.
Tampa Bay Lightning players are honoring a young fan from right here in Sarasota. Sarasota High School senior Tony Colton passed away Sunday after his 7-year battle with cancer. Colton was a lifelong Lightning fan, even getting the chance to play with some members of the team. Winger Ryan Callahan tweeted, "Tony was a special kid. You will be greatly missed." And center Tyler Johnson posted, "Tony was a true inspiration and friend. The amount of courage you showed is incredible." And speaking of incredible, nice of them to pay it forward and, mention them on social media and, the life he lived and leaves behind.
Very sad situation, and nice of those pro athletes to speak so highly of the young man.
True enough. It's probably how we'd want to be remembered, too, as a fighter,
Yeah. 7 years. 7 years.
Yeah.
Showers, not so much today. A little break. A little sun's going to come out this afternoon. We like that. We'll talk about that in just a second.
All right. Also, still had a look back at the lives of 2 movie legends.
That's up next in our entertainment news. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
I'm Alan Cohn. The stock market is soaring, so why aren't middle-income salaries doing the same? Why aren't working families sharing in the so-called boom?
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Working outdoors today, taking a little stroll along the beach perhaps this morning. Well, it's beautiful weather outside. 74 degrees the air temperature, nice blue sky with a dew point of 71, making it feel very comfortable for this time of year. Dew points that low are hard to come by. And we'll probably start off the morning with a dew point tomorrow that's about 4 degrees warmer than that. We have a calm wind out there, but we'll be watching that shift to the west as we head through the afternoon. Emily continues to move further and further away from us, and her influence felt less and less as high pressure builds in from the west. 73 degrees, Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, Parrish, Bradenton. Lakewood Ranch comes in at 74, so does Northport. Punta Gorda comes in at 75, and a little bit warmer right along the coast with 77, Lakewood Ranch, Longboat Key, and 76 degrees in Venice and in Inglewood. Emily has left the state. She's gone, left the building. She's headed out into open waters of the Atlantic where she will bother no one any longer. Now, she may develop a little bit further, intensify just a bit, but she will eventually just fall apart out in the open waters of the Atlantic. The cooler waters out there die out, be absorbed by a trough of low pressure that's lifting away and rapidly move further and further away from us. As she moves further away, influence becomes less and less. For today, her influence will be felt mostly by that drier air that has filtered southward, and that has left us with some pretty nice conditions this morning, I think. As we head into the afternoon, rainfall will be hard to find. We've got one lone shower way out in Gulf waters off the coast of Inglewood. That one, of course, will die out in place. But we have about a 10% chance of maybe a sprinkle, especially in Charlotte County this morning. Otherwise, I don't think we'll see much more than about a 30% chance of rainfall all day long. Later in the afternoon will be the best chance. There's what's left of the circulation of Emily moving away from the coastline. Elongated, kind of being absorbed by upper level winds and stretched apart. that is pulling down this tan-colored, drier air. Well, actually, the air is not colored tan. We color it tan, so you can differentiate it, obviously. The drier air will be with us for about 24 hours before we get a little bit of a wind shift. That wind shift will bring humidity back our way. Northeasterly wind flow is replaced today by a southwesterly wind flow that draws the humidity back, not only at the surface, but aloft as well. And that sets the stage for a few more showers around tomorrow. The forecast calls for that dry air to move in with shifting winds in the afternoon, and we'll have a better rain chance tomorrow by almost double. So today we get a few showers around late in the afternoon. Tomorrow, I think the coverage will be a whole lot better a little bit later on in the afternoon. And the same thing will apply, I think, again on Thursday. Same sort of situation. As far as the tropics go, well, there goes Emily, and further out in the Atlantic, nothing here that looks like it's going to develop. Even off the coast of Africa, things are very quiet thanks to some shear and some drier air. So all in all, it's a pretty quiet couple of days ahead. East wind shifts southwest in the afternoon for boaters at about 10 knots. That'll bring you a light chop and 2-foot seas. Much better day for boating today. And the forecast calls for that 30% chance of showers, followed by about a 50% chance tomorrow. As we head into the weekend, we're going to get right back to that pattern of late day showers and thunderstorms, mostly in inland areas that drift back slowly to the coast. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic this morning in Manatee County, 301 heading north and southbound, seeing your biggest slowdowns, as well as State Road 70 in both directions. I-75 looking good, as well as 41 and around Cortez Road. As we head into Sarasota County, pretty much your only slowdowns really on Tamiami heading southbound as you pass by 301 and 41 split. Bee Ridge, Clark, and Fruitville looking good as we head into South County. Pretty quiet throughout that area as well. 647 on your Tuesday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, as we age, osteoporosis becomes a worry for many people.
But there are ways to keep your bones healthy. Here are some tips from reporter Kim Hutcherson.
It's never too early to start thinking about preventing osteoporosis. That's the message from doctors at Johns Hopkins University. Researchers there say about 54 million Americans have osteoporosis, a gradual thinning of the bones. That low bone density can lead to fractures. Women generally have lower bone density than men, and a drop in estrogen levels can lead to an increased risk of osteoporosis. Johns Hopkins says 50% of American women aged 50 or older will break a bone because of the condition. But experts say there are things that can help prevent osteoporosis, like healthy eating. Eat foods rich in calcium to get the recommended intake for your age, or consider a supplement to fill in the gap. The same goes for protein. Don't skimp on that either. It can be found in both animal and non-animal sources. While we know exercise has a range of benefits, it's also good for bone health. Experts recommend weight-bearing and resistance exercises to get the maximum benefit. Finally, just make some positive lifestyle changes. That includes maintaining a healthy weight, getting rid of those cigarettes, and cutting back on alcohol consumption. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
In entertainment news, the TV world is mourning the loss of two silver screen icons.
Actor and writer Sam Shepard passed away at 73 years of age. He died from complications of Lou Gehrig's disease. He earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in 1983 for his role in The Right Stuff. His most recent work was in the Netflix show called Bloodline. He also wrote 40 plays and screenplays and won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 1979 and the coveted Palme d'Or from the Cannes Film Festival back in 1984.
And another acting powerhouse, French actress Jeanne Moreau, has also passed away. French President Emmanuel Macron announced her death. The actress starred in several Hollywood movies, as well as a key player in many French movies. On Twitter, the French president said the actor embodied cinema and was a free spirit who also rebelled against the established order. Moreau was 89 years old.
6:49 right now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, today's top local news headlines, and the world's longest pedestrian bridge. It's finally open.
We'll tell you where it is and just how long it is when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Do not adjust your set. This is not a postcard. This is what we're seeing right now on our live camera on the Bradenton Riverwalk.
Beautiful shot this morning if you're just now waking up with us. Much different than it was about 24 hours ago.
Yeah, we were scrambling here. John wasn't particular, but now peaceful out there. John's forecast just a few seconds. Welcome back, 6:53 on your Tuesday morning.
Let's take a look at some of the top stories here on the Suncoast today.
Cleanup is underway in the wake of Tropical Storm Emily. Some roofs collapsed around the area and 600 residents lost power.
Plus, a brother has been charged with manslaughter in the death of his sister in Sarasota. Police say a gun accidentally went off in their kitchen Sunday afternoon. It was all happening across the street from Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
And the $75 million Diverging Diamond project is now officially complete on University under the 75 overpass. It is the biggest project of its kind in the country with a total of 12 lanes.
Some major buildup heading throughout Manatee County on 301 in both the north and southbound directions. Looks like the bridges heading into downtown Bradenton are good. I-75 looking clear, as well as 41 and Cortez Road. State Road 70 looking good as well, but as we head into Sarasota County, you will see some slowdowns on 41 heading southbound. Also, around the Clark Road area, you'll see some slowdowns heading northbound on 41. Other than that, I-75, a good option if you're heading into South County. Pretty quiet throughout that area. Just your normal morning commute slowdowns throughout Venice. John?
As you head out the door, you'll notice some slightly drier air around. That'll feel kind of good, I think. And as we head into the afternoon, plenty of sunshine with only a few fair weather clouds. We have about a 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm today, mostly in inland areas. And tomorrow, those rain chances will go up. So too will the humidity, and it'll be with us for the remainder of the week.
Well, finally, if you have the stomach for it, you can now walk across the world's longest pedestrian suspension bridge. It is now open to the public. This is in Switzerland. More than 1,600 feet long and only 2 feet wide. It took just 10 weeks to build somehow. It replaces a previous one that was shut down 7 years ago due to unstable terrain and rock falls. It also completes a section of the Europa Weg Trail, which offers views of some of Switzerland's highest peaks.
Okay, first thing, 2 feet wide, no thank you. And then 10 weeks to build, I do not trust that.
Yeah, that was pretty fast. Could you walk across that, John?
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, you would probably enjoy that.
I think that would be fun. You know, I'm always astounded at how they get that across the forested area. I guess by helicopter, right? They drag it across.
That's true. How do they do that at some point?
They must. Either that or shoot it with an arrow.
There you go. That's
a
good way to do
String
it.
tied to an arrow.
Yeah, all right.
I guess that's how they do it.
Man.
Helicopter.
6:56. Hope you enjoy your Tuesday. Should be a pretty nice day, John tells us. We'll have our next update coming your way at 7:25.
That's right. Stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next.